Hello and welcome to my channel, Love Storyteller Tarot. My name is Jeanette and this is going to be the full moon reading in Aries on the 20th of October 2021. I do apologise, I missed the new moon video in Libra. I believe it was in Libra. But I had a problem, and still do, with this arm, this hand, the wrist and the thumb. So I was unable to shuffle and everything. It's a bit painful. So I missed that one. But what I could gather for that one, I think it was linked to Mars. Yeah, it was linked to Mars. So obviously this full moon will be going out on the new moon. So I'll just put a little bit of that in there. It's linked to Mars, so there could be a tendency, because we've always got to look at the shadow side, there could be a tendency for revenge. So we look at the positive and negative, revenge, that sort of energy. And it's to do with Uranus as well, so it's square in Uranus or something. And obviously Uranus is the great awakener, so there could be like radical change or rebelliousness, you know, so we've got an impatience. You know, Mars is fire, like Aries is, it's fire. So we've got to be patient with ourselves and be very mindful, and like not let other people or situations trigger us. So yeah, we need to watch our fieriness around this time. What else did it say? Because obviously Libra is all about harmony and balance. You know, so if there is any you know, temper tantrums or whatever, then it's about creating harmony. And sometimes it's you know, it takes one to be the better person. And like I say, you know, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Because, you know, there can be that energy as well about wanting to be right, having the last word in your relationships. So maybe around this time, it could be that. But obviously on the bright side, it's about passion, enthusiasm and initiative and, you know, balance, harmony, working together, fairness, because it comes under the Justice card. But also it can be about karmic situations and relationships. But yeah, it's definitely got that difficult aspect with Uranus. But Uranus does shake things up, it wakes things up. And, you know, especially as things have been stagnant, you know, so even if it's not in your personal life, you might see it around people that you know, or it could be, you know, out in the media and stories that are being told. You know, we could see a lot of it out in that. But yeah, so that covers the new moon in Libra a little bit. So we've got this full moon, and then we go into we go back into eclipse season, which is let's have a look. November the 19th, lunar eclipse, 27 degrees in Taurus, and then we've got the December the 4th, the solar eclipse in Sagittarius. So we've got earth and fire there. And I know two people with those, so that will be interesting to watch that play out. But let's get back to this full moon. It does come under the Emperor, and the Emperor is, you know, is that very masculine energy, hence why Mars is connected to it. And we still have the Mercury retrograde. I think it goes through to October the 19th, because when I was shuffling these cards, near enough half of the pack came out reverse. So I just took a few of them and put them in the pack. I wasn't going to take them all, because that's just like saying something's reversed, and it needs to be, you need to turn it upside down or something like that. You know, like with these cereal boxes, or it used to be, I don't know if they do them anymore. I don't have that sort of cereal, but they always used to have a gift. And the gift always used to be at the bottom. So, you know, and then you'd have to open the top and and find your way through to find the gift, or you wait patiently, give yourself the proper serving every day, and then you come across the gift. So maybe that's the message, to be patient and not hurry things, and because that fiery energy, that impatience, and especially if things have been stagnant and not moving, it's like, well, is this going to change for the better? We want change for the better. Is it ever going to change for the better? And of course, the one sure thing is change. Change is happening every nanosecond of the day. So, down to nature and growth and things changing there. And now we've gone into this cycles, we've gone into the autumn now, so things are always changing. But the Emperor is about leadership. It's about taking control. So it'll either be that if you feel out of control and lost, then you need to take charge and take control of your life, and where you want it to be heading, not to be the victim, to be the magician. So it could be that, or your partner if you're in a relationship, or someone. So, but yeah, so it's about taking charge of that, because it's very much about leadership. And so whether that's in your personal situation or community or job environment, work environment, or a business, thinking about doing a business, a lot of entrepreneurship being born since 2020, which I was definitely picking up in the cards throughout 2015, 2016, etc. So, and that's definitely coming to fruition now. But obviously on the outer, it can be, is there anybody of authority that you feel's got power over you? And nobody has power over you, but you might think that they do because of the situation. And it's it's about the masculine, so it's father figure, like a father figure. And that can be personal or in the collective, and these leaders that come across as father figures and things like that, caring and whatever. But this guy can, because he's quite abrasive, like the key with the Emperor is it helps you to be organized, structured, organized, and go by the rules, sort of thing. And then that is the best approach. So that's where he comes into his own. But on the other side, it because it's this can show up as a strong partner if a strong partner's coming in. But then with a strong partner, if you've because you want somebody who's compassionate and somebody that's tapped into their feminine side, but you want somebody with the backbone. So it's about finding that balance, because if it's too feminine energy, then there might not be the passion or the chemistry there. But yeah, so this is about a strong partner, a husband, like I said, a father. So it could be that that could be somebody that's might be around at this time, like I said, but with somebody that's strong-willed, strong mind. If it's to do with the relationship, that it can cause power struggles. And like I said, about, because of people's perceptions and wanting to see things a certain way, and then obviously they see things a certain way, but you'd need to bring in that Libra energy. Mercury is still traveling through Libra, where it's about harmony and balance. And the key to that is communication. That's the only way through, is communication. So, yeah, the Emperor is dominant in this full moon. And Aries is, governs the first house, but depending where Aries is in your chart, I can't remember what was the degree, 27 degrees, then that's where it will be affecting you. So let's have a look, see what Archangel Michael would like to say. Let go of fear. Yeah, it does feel like there's a lot of fear in the world. There's a lot of propaganda and, you know, truths not being told, and what's the word they're saying? Embellishment. There's a lot of embellishment going on that can make people fearful. Just for an example, here in the UK, there is not a petrol shortage, but it's being twisted that way because we've got Mercury retrograde, which can be trickster, can be the illusionist, and something that may appear one way but another way, that would then cause fear. And it's not true. It's when you bring the Justice card in, that's factual, and you just look at the facts. When you look at the facts, that's not true. There's other elements at work, which is about, you know, the delivering of it and the drivers, etc., and what they're going through. And it escalates, it goes on like that. And of course, it all affects everybody. But the higher purpose to that is for people to come together and not to come from fear. You know, you either come from fear or you come from love. So Archangel Michael is saying, you know, let go of fear. A lot of it is not real. It's being made a certain way. So whether that's in your personal life or what's going on collectively, it's made to seem one way when it's not. It's a totally different other way. And that's when we have to quiet our minds and go within and you know, switch off these, you know, social media and everything and what you're watching, and just calm the nervous system down, because especially if you're a sensitive, if you're psychic, intuitive, a healer, all of that, then, you know, you will be picking up on all of that energy, all of the energy that's out in the world. And, you know, as empaths and that, we have to learn to discern what is ours and what is somebody else's. And that's no different to what's ours, what is the collective. And, you know, and channel that. Archangel Michael, please help me feel safe and deserving of your guidance. Thank you for clearing me of heavy, toxic or ego-based thoughts or feelings. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's that 3D level and the survival, and, you know, it triggers how we survived as a child, or if we didn't, to the extent, you know, there was a lack and, you know, not a nice time. So, yeah, you know, he's saying, let go of fear now. And maybe that's where it's about taking charge of one's life. Let's see what the tarot cards would like to say. Whee. They were, a lot of them were reversed. Yeah, definitely it's about taking charge, because the Chariot is number 7, and number 7 is about being on the right path. But saying that, being on the right path, we are on the right path, even if our guides or our intuition is taking us on a diversion, we're still on the right path. You know, you're on that path. It just means that you might need to go on a little diversion off that path a little bit, because especially with Mercury retrograde, you know, if we have wandered off it through a choice that we made before the Mercury retrograde, that wasn't right for us, then our guides will get us to slow us down. So if we wandered off the path a little bit, gone on a diversion of our own rather than they're making, our making, through a choice that we've made, then, you know, they've got to try and divert us back on that path again. So it feels like that. It feels like a lot of people have unknowingly, they're saying, unknowingly took a diversion off their path, because the trouble with the truth, if the truth is not being shown or told you completely, you can only make a decision based on that information that you've been given. If you'd have been given the whole information, then it's more than likely you'd have made another choice for yourself, which would have then kept you on that path. But that's why they're saying unknowingly you might have made a decision that's taken you on a bit of a diversion. But and that could be to do with career, because the Chariot is definitely all about, because remember the full moon illuminates something, and it's our emotions. So something that wasn't noticeable will be even more noticeable around this full moon, because it taps into our emotions, and then your emotions are more highlighted, and they're talking to us, they're telling us something. And with the Chariot, it can be very much about being ambitious, being driven, which again with the Emperor, you know, structure, organisation and following the rules will get you that, if that's the situation for you. But with the Chariot, it can also be, but with this one, they can, you know, they can step on people's toes, because they're not feeling orientated. They're more, you know, it's like they have a vision, they see it their way, and then, you know, they can be quite brash. And with the Chariot, it's about a journey, going on a journey, and it can be, you can be torn in two different directions. And it's, you know, it's about the way that gets you there is about being centered. We need to be centered. Only when we're centered are we, you know, in control of those horses. The black and white is your feminine and masculine energies that need to be balanced. You need both. You need both, and even more so now. And then you're doing it without even controlling these, you know, symbolically, these horses, these creatures in front of you, because he hasn't got any reins or anything. He's doing it from his own inner power. And then on a mundane level, you know, it is about travel, and it's about a vehicle. So this card can show up if there's anything around, and I was just saying about petrol, but anything around, you know, travel, a vehicle. If you're needing a new one, it's broken down, Mercury retrograde, these things can happen. We had a new cinema open up here, and the poor guy, the reviews he had was awful, because it's a Mercury retrograde. And I think the first night it all went pairs up, the second night it did, and all the tills went down, everything like that. And it's such a shame, because everything else was fine. So, you know, that's when it can happen. And that's when you've got to back things up, etc. So yeah, this is all about, you know, moving forward. Yeah, because there are opportunities there. You know, this is about this. The Two of Wands is like having a vision, and you know, it's like saying, because the world's in his hand, and he has something to offer, because it's the right hand. It's about giving, and you know, he has something to offer the world. And the Wands are about, you know, if we're looking at Aries, which is fire, passion, creativity. He has something to offer, as well as the world is offering him, her, something, which is around independence, because we have the cat here. So it's that balance, and it shows up as partnership, actually, especially with the Chariot, because it's about ambition and work and creativity. So it can show up as partnership, and it doesn't always have to be a partnership with another person. It can be a partnership with spirit, with your guides, whatever the situation is. But yeah, so at some point we're being asked, because something's completing itself, a situation, a cycle is coming to an end. Again, the Fool, that Libra new moon with Mars and the Uranus aspect, the Fool comes under Uranus, which is, it's about, it can be something changes quickly, or, but it's not about being the Fool and taking, an uncalculated risk. I don't think Spirit asks us ever to do that. Even when you've got an idea, it's usually that to move forward, you need to introduce something. So when you're going from one job to another, or going from a job to being self-employed, obviously, it's about doing that gradually, even though some people just go for it. But it suggests not doing that. But yeah, this is about, your soul is calling you into a certain direction, and is asking you to, or will be in the future, asking you to take that risk. And because there is something to celebrate, and even though we might not think that, there's definitely something to celebrate. Because remember, Archangel Michael is saying, let go of fear. Because when we're entrenched in fear, fear is false evidence appearing real. We can't make. We come from our emotions, and we can't make that logical step forward. But the Four of Wands is definitely, there's a celebration of some kind that will be coming up. And this can be anything. And the cat is here also, which is about independence. But, it can be a wedding, engagement, birth, buying a home, anything like that. And a lot of people say it's the 1111 gateway, which obviously next month we will be coming into that. But yeah, definitely something to celebrate. The heart of the matter, we are moving away from, even though it might not feel that way. I think one of the astrologers was saying, next year it's going to, because this year is a year 5, which is all about change. And I certainly see 555 a lot, which means 555 is about, real rumblings of change, not just your mundane everyday change. It's like real big changes. And that can be, what's going on in the world. But yeah, this is definitely the heart of the matter, is that we're moving away from troubled waters. And yeah, the journey, because we've got the Chariot here, the journey might still be a little bit bumpy, but it will be nothing like you've gone through. It's becoming clearer, it's becoming calmer, and it will be like, it's about not looking back. It's not about looking back. It's about looking forward and focusing on the future, they're saying. So, yeah, because the Five of Swords can be, conflict. And because it's the swords, it can be argument. Again, the Mercury retrograde might be coming into it. And this can be feeling like a little bit embarrassed, something that maybe under the fall, but it isn't reversed, maybe feeling a little bit embarrassed, or somebody might be in the future, maybe they want to say something, because there can be quite a few reconciliations, people coming back this sort of time, unfinished business, and not always in a negative, but there we go. Does that look better? Yeah, because we've got this also with 2 6s, so we've got 2 major arcanas, and yeah, so this is about giving and receiving. So something where you'd given and not received back, you're going to, if you're somebody that's always given, then you will be, even though you don't do it to be rewarded, because this is very much about volunteering and helping people, community, charities, that sort of thing. But then you've got to be very discerning about the charities and that. But yeah, this is about, if you're needing help, then this is about somebody coming in, and maybe it's to do with this Emperor coming in and being of support that way, or it's you and you're being that way to somebody else, generous and kind. Yeah, we've got 5. I think this goes together and they go together. So yeah, because there's been disappointment, and Spirit was saying about not looking back at those disappointments, only like from a higher perspective, as in the lesson, and let go of everything else, because that's going to prevent, because it causes fear, and then it prevents you from moving forward. This here is like the third eye, the light that's coming through the third eye. So it feels like we're being tested about, because this can be like abandonment and not wanting to take a risk, the fool, and feel a fool again, or feel embarrassed about maybe you got something wrong. So if there is somebody you're thinking about and there really wasn't anything bad going on between you, i.e. it's not an abusive relationship, then and things, there's misunderstandings, whether that's family or a partner, then maybe it is about dealing with that whilst the Mercury retrograde is here in Libra, which is about relationships and putting things right, whether that's to be together or whether that's to be just to lay things at rest, because otherwise going to be taking that energy moving forward. But there is going to be, there's where there wasn't give and take that caused disappointment, hurt and heartache, there is going to be that, because that next to that is about not receiving unrequited love, not receiving what you've been given. And then the outcome is the Tower, and so there's that sort of Mars energy again, that's explosion of but not always in a negative. Something has to break down. Something has to break down so that you can break through. That can be somebody having to hit rock bottom, and so that you can come back up again. But you can only go so far down, and then with your emotions, so like that spiral, it can spiral, can't it, when you think about something, or you think about a sad time that upset you, where you were disappointed. I mean, it's Archangel Michael saying, let go of that fear. Don't think that you're going to be repeating that now, because It feels like a lot of karmic energy has been, you know, healed, and it's those sort of patterns are not going to be repeating again. But if we get stuck in our minds of that's what's going to happen, and we keep, you know, being on that hamster wheel of fate and decide not to be happy, then that's, you know, it's what do they call it, a self-fulfilling prophecy. So yeah, at the bottom it's the strength card in reverse, and you know, that's it's like people are tired and don't know if they've got the strength to carry on, as in, you know, whatever it is that this is for you, where you're heading, where you're going, but you do have the strength, and yes, this can be shocking, this can be something out of the blue, and you know, but it can also be sometimes things are like blown up out of proportion, like what was being channeled at the beginning, where it was saying things are not what they seem to be, but it can, you know, you've got to dig deep into your inner strength. You've got to dig deep into your inner strength. Let's get some more cards. Let's have a look at the futuristic. It's only Archangel Michael saying it's only fear that keeps you in the strength card in reverse. That's only fear doing that. But yeah, definitely we've got horses on horses, and this is about a journey of some kind. It's about going somewhere, so yeah, travel of some kind. But also it's about news heading your way. There's some news coming your way. And with this particular pack, you know, it's usually somebody with kindness and gentleness, someone nice, and it can be like a knight in shining armor, and it doesn't have to be in a romantic sense. It can be somebody coming in offering help if that's what you need, or it could be that you're good news for somebody else, if you're prompted to be that way. So, but yeah, or there's good news regarding some news that you've been waiting for, if it's on that mundane level to do with a vehicle, a car, you know, there's good news coming on its way there about that. So the heart of the matter. Oh, lovely. Yeah, things are looking brighter, or they will be soon, because this is what's at the heart of the matter. So, like I said, sometimes we can get locked into disappointments and then not see what's being offered. And the fear, you can, it's like, oh, it's 10 times worse than what we think it's going to be, because, you know, either of who's giving you that information or that news, you know, that can make you feel that way, can make you feel as though you're not strong enough to make this journey, whether that's an outer journey or an inner journey, you know, working on that mental level. Definitely it's on the mental level at the moment, because we have that Mercury, which is all about communication regarding relationships and strengthening that. So maybe it's about being the fool, or like taking that risk and doing something opposite to what you normally do. Because by doing something opposite to what you normally do, then you're going to get a different result. The saying is, keep doing the same thing over and again is a form of madness, because, you know, and expecting a different result. You're not going to, if you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. but you know, the future, or the here and now really, because it's at the heart of the matter, is very, very positive. And this move away, this can literally mean moving. So if that is, you know, for you, that you're moving home, moving country, whatever it is, then this is saying that, okay, the ride might still be a little bit choppy, but you're heading in the right direction because the sun is here. And it's about being optimistic. It could even be like that. You're moving to somewhere that's got a hotter climate, somewhere where there's more sunshine. It can literally mean that. But yeah, it's definitely, that can be down to a holiday. But again, whatever that decision is for you, it's very positive and makes you feel good, makes you feel good. So let's put some more cards out. See what's in the environment. We have the Fox on the Two of Wands. So what I'm hearing now is be careful of any business opportunities during this Mercury retrograde, because Libra is the 7th house, is partnership, and it could be from somebody I was describing there. Yeah, it's just saying check that, or check the information, you know, go into more details. On the other side, it could be that, you know, you need to be sharp, you need to be cunning, you need to be very clear with this, the way you communicate, maybe, if this is to do with a business deal or a business partnership, because that's what it's suggesting here. The Fool card, yeah, we got the snake on it, so it's definitely saying no risk taking, no jumping off that cliff, taking that leap of faith without doing your due diligence, is what they're saying here around this time, because the snake is about, and sometimes even if you've got you've got the idea for this new beginning, this fresh start, sometimes you've got to let it lay dormant, because we can channel this information, or we can get this idea, but then we have to let it settle down, and then we see where it goes from there. And this card, the snake on the Fool, is all about, you know, what's the saying? Silent is golden, or something. And so it's about keeping your thoughts, your ideas to yourself, because it is next to the Two of Wands, and we've got the Fox on there. So, yeah, sometimes you need to keep that to yourself. Otherwise, somebody could, you know, steal that idea, because on the Rider-Waite cards, you know, that's somebody winning against somebody else. So, you know, there are people out there like that. If they're you know, not creative enough, or they're coming from fear, you know, they're coming through it from fear. So that even can be down to, you know, in a work environment. But yeah, so fate is guiding this situation. This tower is different to this tower. This is something old. There's something from the past, something that's been celebrated before. So if you looked at that with the Four of Wands, that maybe was a wedding, if you've been married before, that sort of thing, where there was disappointment, then, you know, you've got to let that go and not think that you'll repeat it in the future, because things are different now. But yeah, that is very much about the, you know, fate, very much fate guiding this situation. And it is to do with a relationship. So it could be that it's about clarity, being careful what you say, you know, because this can be somebody walking away, after saying something and then feeling as though they've been wronged, you know, and it is coming up in the future. So it might be that it happens around this full moon, or it could be from this full moon cycle to the next one. It could be throughout November then, and then we are heading for the eclipses. But with this next to it, you know, things, like I said, things aren't as bad. But again, the snake and the ring is definitely, you need to be very discerning. Now, this is to do with money, finances, yeah, definitely. And that can be because the tower is there, and that could be news coming this way about something from the past, maybe an heirloom, what's the word, vintage, something that you know, yeah, that can be a home, or it can be something that's been passed down. And with the Six of Pentacles, it can be finances, but it can be something special also coming in, because this is like an investment. Yeah, with the heart on the 5, definitely. This is about, you know, like I was saying, about disappointment, heartbreak that's happened, or that is happening now, because it is sitting right in the present. So if that's happening on whatever level that is for you, I'm sorry if that's what you're going through. You know, and that could be to do with family, friends, could be to do with a lover, partnership, who knows. But yeah, it's definitely to do with matters of the heart. But this is positive with the sun next to it. So that means a strong relationship. It just might mean that your partner or somebody is going through a bit of a hard time. Oh, there you go. So that's regarding a house. So this could be a sudden house move. Yeah, it could be a sudden house move. It can also literally mean, so if you're thinking of, if you're buying property or going into business regarding a property business, it could be that the foundations, because of Mercury, it could be that the foundations with this card next to it is not solid. Is not solid. There might be something wrong with the foundations. So there, you know, you would need to inspect it, get it inspected. Don't trust what somebody is saying or what the pack is, you know, when you go to auction, this sort of thing, and then what it's saying in there, it's saying so that you don't experience on another level, if you don't experience that upset, that would obviously break your heart, and it would be an investment. It could be that, you know, somebody's using their money from an inheritance, that sort of thing. So yeah, you'd need to. Or there could be another scenario. It could be there's an argument regarding somebody wants this particular home because of the heart of the matter, and then there is an upset because of that. I'm upset that, yeah, because we've got the whip at the bottom. Yeah. So, but it's about, a conflict's not a bad thing. Challenging somebody is not a bad thing. And, you know, and you are strong enough to, so whatever this scenario situation is, you are strong enough. You just have to tap in and say what you need to just say, because that can make you feel weak, you know, if there's been an argument, and not feel good about a situation. But let's get some clarifying cards on this to see what's going on there, because this is what's going on underneath. That can even be down to somebody not feeling good about themselves, and then projecting that out. But there's hope there. There's hope. There's hope. And yeah, because we've got the enemy, but there's hope. There's hope there about the outcome or the situation, because either somebody feels somebody's like an enemy, or somebody is not being truthful, or, you know, it's their mentor. It's the way they look at the world and think that everybody's out to get them, that sort of thing. Yeah, and it's definitely around some money. So I don't know if this is a family situation, but it's saying have hope about it. Have hope about your dream or your plan. But it's definitely about some money, a money situation. It could be a family situation where there's been... But what I want to see now is, let's pull a card for Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising, just to get a bit of clarity. This is the overall energy, what we've spoken about. So let's have a look. Aries Sun. Oh, Aries Sun, lovely. It's the Queen of Wands. You know, she's very, which is all about, with this pack, it's all about creativity. So the Aries Sun sign needs to be very creative, creativity, being creative thinking, or actual practical creative, even down to, you know, like mundane basic things, is going to get you out of this situation, or going to help you feel inspired. She's very intuitive, and usually this one owns her own business, runs her own business, or is like really at the top of the ladder. Yeah, she sort of doesn't need anybody. It's not that she doesn't want anybody in her life. She does, but, you know, she's just very self-reliant. So the Aries Moon, Sun need to be very self-reliant around this full moon. And then obviously whatever the overall energies are. And then Aries Moon. So for Aries Moon, there we go, because the moon is all about our emotions. So around this time, there's going to be a lot of healing on regarding your emotions. You know, it will be a case, like I said earlier, about a retreat. It's about like stepping back, quieting the mind. So there's going to be healing on the mental level for Aries Moon. So that's nice. Yeah, it's about having some quiet time. You know, if you're busy all the time, it's about taking time to have rest and, you know, give yourself a break. And there's going to be healing for you, especially on the mental level. And then Aries Rising. But this is not just for Aries, because it depends where your Aries is. Oh, Aries Rising, which rising means you're right. It's where you're rising to. It's your soul contract, where you're heading for, what you're here to do. And it's the Chariot, which is the angel of guidance, which we have there. So that's even more significant for Aries Rising. But yeah, so you are being guided down the right path. And sometimes, like I said, you feel as though you're on the wrong path, but you're on the right path, but you're just on a diversion. So maybe around this time, then Aries Rising will see their path more clearly. But there's something here that's going on underneath. It means something that's not being seen. So let's have a look, see what the romance angels would like to say overall for this reading. Overall energies, love yourself first. So whatever the situation is around this full moon, you know, it's not selfish to put yourself first and love yourself first, because what's the saying, get your house in order and then everything else. So it's not about focusing on other people and what's going on in their life. It's about focusing on ourselves and, you know, putting our own house in order first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So that's overall. But let's have a look, see what Aries Sun, for Aries Sun, please. On a more personal note. Yeah, so for Aries Sun, there's codependency that needs to be worked through, and hence the love yourself first is the overall message. So addictions are affecting your romantic life, and maybe for Aries Sun, then, you know, you've got to be your Queen of Wands. You've got to be channeling your energy into that, not into the addictions. And like I was just saying, it's not selfish to be, you know, to focus on yourself and what your needs are and what you want to be doing and where you want to be going. You know, codependency can drag you out of your center and take you off your path, you see. No coincidence, I was just writing about that in my book. And you know, it can rob you, it can steal your life force energy, and you know, it needs to be worked on. But for them, it's about doing it creatively. And then Aries Moon with this healing card romantically. Let's do it going. Yeah. Oh, true love. So there you go for Aries Moon. By working with your emotions and letting go of the past and healing your heart, then, you know, by loving yourself first, because it's the overall energy, and true love for yourself, and then somebody will mirror that back to you. And, you know, it will be the romance of a lifetime for you. Like I was saying, it won't be a repeat of your past. So, and that's definitely what's going on for Aries Moon around this full moon. But true love is loving yourself first, and the other has to do that. So sometimes it can be that you're ready, and this is the opposite. This is the other person having to do that. If you're single and haven't met somebody, it's because they have to do the work on themselves. You can't do it for them, and vice versa. And for the rising, right, yes, with the Chariot, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. It could be for the rising, because rising is like your soul. It can be your soul purpose. It can be your soul contract. So it can be like with whatever's been said here. You know, so it might be that you need to put your finances in order. You need to be loving yourself first and put your, you know, house in order first and working on your finances and career. And that's not selfish either. So it might be that you need to, or it could be that somebody is too focused on their career and business, etc. And then that could be causing a problem in your love life, and they're not giving time to their love life. So it depends which way you're coming from, really. So let's have a look, see what these cards would like to say. And we're going to do Aries Sun first. So if you want to pause your video, if you're Aries Sun, and let's see if the angels can answer you. Well, they're saying a no, but it's on that codependency one, so they're saying it's a no. Doesn't mean a no forever, it's just a no. And Aries moon. Oh, that's a definite no. It's a no and an exclamation mark. So I don't know what question you've asked, but it's a definite no. But you'll see and understand why. Why? Because remember, the message is true love. And Aries rising. Listen to your intuition. So you know your intuition is right, and you need to trust that. So let's have a look on a soul contract level with the Akashic Tarot. Overall message. 5 of Forces, summer and winter. Well, in some places, you know, it's summertime. What is it? Northern is winter, and whatever it is, whichever way around it is. So in some places it's summertime, and then in other places it's winter time. So, or you know, heading in for that. So with the 5 of Forces, let's see how this fits in. Obviously, it's about the seasons. But how does it fit in with this particular reading? Yeah, the seasonal cycle card reveals how best to spend your energy at this time. And this is what's being said here and individually with the sun, moon, and rising. The beautiful sunlit sky of summer overlooks farmers working hard on their growing crops. Oops, depends whether you're, you know, you're not your actual life, whether it's summer or winter, it's whether, yeah, your life, what, you know, where are you, what season are you in? Summer is a yang time of great activity, and it is Aries, which is 5, fire. So this is your notice to get going. So there you go, get going. Action is an important part of this cycle, and it can take many forms. There may be something you can do to accelerate your professional life. This may also be the perfect time to take steps towards your personal goals, which is definitely the Emperor. And remember, it's about structure, organisation, and following the rules. Towards your personal goals, perhaps get more exercise, plan more social events, or start a fun activity you've been wanting to do. You might also reflect on what actions or perspectives would attract a new romance or enhance your love life. This card tells you to consider what needs to be done, then go for it. This cycle is perfect time to create a smiling, self-loving energy, which is part of love yourself first energy, and project it outwards for the world to see. Also, don't be surprised if a trip is coming your way. Well, that is definitely that, and that is that. This card implies movement of some kind, so get ready. Get ready is the overall message. Trip is on the cards, and let's have a look. Wisdom of the Oracle. Overall message. Orphaned. Oh, so sad, this card. It looks so, you know, but that's like the 5 of Cups. You know, it's feeling abandoned, and so the orphaned energy is very much, the archetype is dominant. It's not feeling loved. It's number 5. We did have the 5 of Cups there and the 5 of Swords there, which is to do with a relationship. You know, it's feeling lost and not feeling that you belong anywhere, like you can't find your tribe, and you feel lonely, abandoned. So, but it's childhood stuff, and you know, it needs to be worked through, and maybe that for those, that's what that's about. But yeah, so we need to, that can be like being adopted, being fostered, but it's basically feeling unloved, you know, not finding our place in the world. But so we will be working with that as the collective next to that. Right, let's have a look. What would you like to whisper to us, dear angels? Okay, appreciate this moment. So what they're saying is, you know, just be in the moment, because the past will, you know, bring you down, feel disappointed, and it will make you feel like orphaned, etc. This is number 33, so 33 might be important, or 3 equals 6, which is the Lover's card, so again, relationship. But, you know, we can only appreciate by being in the moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. So yeah, for the singles out there, there are opportunities, and that this card did say to look to events or doing something different, as to where you might find, you know, somebody that's more on your wavelength. Because if we don't come out of this energy, then you just attract somebody who feels the same way, and then, you know, you go in that cycle of codependency. But yeah, appreciate this moment fully. So be in the present, because in the present is the gift. That's why it's called a gift. And you know, that's when you could miss somebody that's right for you. And remember what Archangel Michael said, let go of fear, you know. And the affirmation for this full moon: I am the dreamer of my dream, which is definitely the Chariot energy and the Emperor energy. You know, what's the saying? Dream the biggest dream. And you know, I am the dreamer of my dream. So whatever the dream is for you, then, you know, dream it. If you can dream it, it will be coming towards you. So there we go. A bit of a mixed bag. I do hope those messages help. And, you know, remember, this is only around the full moon. So 3 days before, 3 days after, or the moon cycle, so the 28-day cycle from one moon to another. It's not a lifetime. It's just Spirit gives us a bit of a heads up. It's not about holding tightly on to it. It's to jog your memory. If something happens, then maybe you have the answer, the tools, the gifts by watching this reading. There we go. Please like, share and subscribe, and thank you to those who do. And I will be back for, is it the lunar one next? I think it is, isn't it? I'm not too sure, but anyway, I'll be back for the next one. Lots of love. Namaste.